Tonight on Bayou Time, we have a lot to talk about. First day of school, the buses are rolling. There was an accident. We'll have a report on that shortly. And my good buddy Kyle Falk has once again managed to get a couple of swamp people back in the HTV studio. Not going to tell you who they are yet. You're going to have to wait and see right after the intro. But nonetheless, it's Bayou Time, and it's Monday night.
Deep in the heart of the bayou, we are gathered here tonight. Now it's time for action, 'cause our lives are on the line. Tonight we'll do our very best to break through all the bureaucratic mess. The time has come tonight, 'cause it's Bayou time. Show 'em what Louisiana's all about.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to Bayou Time. I'm Martin Folse, and as promised in the tease, we have a couple of swamp people in the house. Now, certainly this program has become a cult phenomenon all around the world. It is the History Channel's claim to fame. And I got to tell you, I was just in the green room, and I was talking with RJ Molinere and his son, Jay Paul, two of the nicest people you will ever meet. They're from this area. They've been watching Bayou Time for a long time. I've been watching Swamp People for a long time, so it was a good chance to meet everybody, met everybody, and certainly they are two fine people. When we come back from the news, they're going to be on the desk, and we're going to talk about how they got on Swamp People. But first, local news.
Be right home for the first day of school for some St. Francis students as a car strikes the back of a school bus at the intersection of Bayou Black Drive and El Paso Boulevard. Officials at the scene said no students were injured in the accident. At the scene, paramedics were tending to a passenger inside the car that struck the bus. The crash remains under investigation by Houma Police. In police news, over the weekend, deputies arrest a Dulac man for allegedly stealing a car and trying to run over the owner of the car. Deputies say 26-year-old Calvin Verdant Jr. was driving the owner of the car to his home when the owner wanted to go back to her home. Verdant instead continued to drive to his home. Deputies say Verdant struck the woman several times and then drove off when the woman left the car. According to deputies, Verdant then drove around in circles, nearly striking the woman. Verdant is charged with aggravated assault, 2 counts of simple battery, and auto theft. Also this weekend, deputies make a second arrest in the alleged plot to steal copper wire from an energy substation leading to the electrocution of Timothy Lewis last Wednesday. Deputies late Friday arrested 59-year-old Donald Gautreaux, who allegedly drove Lewis and his girlfriend, Tanya Nakan, to the substation. Gautreaux also drove away from the scene with Nakan after Lewis was electrocuted while trying to cut the wire. Gautreaux was booked into the Terrebonne Parish Jail on a $50,000 bond. In Houma Police news, Houma Police arrest a man who tried to steal a steak from a local supermarket and punched a juvenile while fleeing. Houma Police Saturday arrested 39-year-old Waylon Young of Dulac after he tried to take a steak from a grocery store on St. Charles Street and punched a teen in the jaw when they were trying to follow Young. Young was booked into the Terrebonne Parish Jail for theft of goods less than $500 and obstruction of justice. His bond was set at $10,000. And in weekend news, 2 local associations hold their annual rodeos. We first start off with the Terrebonne Parish Sportsman's League Rodeo, who held their rodeo at the East Park Recreation Center.
So far we've had a good response, and we've been hearing from our fishermen that they have some pretty good fish already to be weighed. So right now I would say things are going pretty well. The weather's been holding up pretty well. We've had some rain showers around, not too many today. We've had a few severe yesterday, but so far today we've had a pretty good turnout. Pretty good for the fishermen, except it is really hot. We're a nonprofit organization, and we do what we can for the community. And of course, we give our membership, we give them 6 eating meetings a year, which includes a crawfish boil and a family banquet. So we give most of the money back to the fishermen and to the fishing people, you might say.
Also over the weekend, the crew of Cleopatra held its annual rodeo down in Cocodrie.
You know, one day we just decided it's usually a dominated area, fishing rodeos by men and men's clubs and organizations. And we figured, what's wrong? A woman can organize just the same. So we did, and we've been really good at it so far. It's been really a good event for us. And so we're down here waiting for the scales to be bombarded with people bringing in their last minute fish. We have people placed on the board now, but I'm sure it'll change really fast as they come in with their boats at the last minute. But we're glad to be back in business again.
All right, there's a look at our local news, and you might wonder, well, I don't have a tie on tonight because I'm all loose because we're talking swamp people tonight. Okay, once again here on HTV. There they are. We're going to get them to wave to the camera. You see RJ Molinere right there on your left, Jay Paul Molinere on the right. The most recent of the swamp people, and I got to tell you, super nice. I guess they depict what a father and son should be on a show, and that's not fake, huh? I mean, y'all really do get along, don't you?
Oh yeah, we get along really good.
Now, let's start off, because you were telling me an interesting story, RJ, in the green room about when swamp people came down, and they were looking for a certain look, and they were looking, I guess, for someone Indian. They were looking for Indian heritage, and they wanted just one person. So I want you to finish the story for me. That was quite interesting.
Well, they had, they had a chance to get on Swamp People, and I just thought it was just like a regular, just a couple of days, and that was it. And someone from the History Channel just came up and said, he found me through the United Home Nation, and they asked to see if he wanted to do a story on the homeless, and to see how the homeless did lived off the land. Right. And so he talked with me a little bit. He said, RJ, I think you're the man we're looking for. And I told him, I said, cool. But I said, I have a partner. And he said, well, but we only want you. And I said, well, I'm sorry, it ain't gonna work. And he said, why not? I said, well, my partner's been with me for 20 years. And I said, and there he is right there, And he was passing the four-wheeler, and he said, well, have him come here. And then he came out there. And he told me, he says, RJ, I'm sorry. He says, we're going to go ahead and interview him, but it ain't going to work because they're only looking for one guy. And he said, I think they got their guy. He said, but we're going to film him and bring it up there to California and let him check it out. The next day I got a call, and they said, look, they like what they see, and they want both of y'all. No problem, a father and son team. Wow. I think that's what we want. And so that's how we ended up on the Swamp People.
So, Jay Paul, that had to make you feel good that Pop sort of stood up for you.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, that's how we always did, though. I mean, what he got, I got. What I got, he got. So, I mean, that's our father-son team, but that's how we work. We work as best friends also. So.
Yeah. Now, tell me a little bit about your heritage, where you grew up here in Terrebonne Parish and all that. So, when we were first talking, I suspected French or Indian heritage, and
yeah,
I was half right.
Well, I'm with the United Home Nation. I'm the Houma tribe, and we kind of lost our language as we went on. So we caught on, with the French language. But I was I was born in, I said 49 years in Grandbois, and I was proud of it and proud of being who I am. And we were just taught to live off the land the way, while I was growing up, watching my people, the way they was doing their thing, well, it just came natural after I got older. And so it paid off in the long run,
But this was all, what y'all do in the show is probably 1/10 of what you do in a whole year. Tell me some of the things that y'all do and what y'all trap and everything during a whole year.
Yeah, well, it's everything's seasonal, everything. Yeah, your shrimping season, your nutria season, gator season. So, we do everything there's possible to do on land. Also, we also own some heavy equipment, so I operate heavy equipment. Besides that, Schools first, so I'm still in college. I go to Ellie Fletcher Community College, and so I'm there at school. Besides school, I mean, if we're doing anything, there's enough, like they say, there's enough time in a day for the things we do.
Now let me ask you, before y'all became these worldwide celebrities, did y'all watch Swamp People?
Well, actually, we didn't. Season 1 didn't air yet, so there was
Okay.
no. We didn't know. We was told about it, but there was no like, hey, this is what it's gonna be like. It's gonna be like this. Is what we want y'all to do. So when they came find us to start, when we started filming, we just thought documentary, because we did documentaries before.
Right.
I just come out a couple of days, film us, and that go on the way. You never see nothing about it again.
Yeah.
And then once we're halfway through the season. And then this first season starts airing, like we call it our pants down. We didn't know. So that's what, I mean, we just gave them out there and that's why we out there. What you see on TV about with me and my dad is straightforward. Because look, we wasn't trying to act for TV, wasn't trying to make nothing more, because we thought it was just a documentary, you know. So
I noticed when y'all both are on, there's no beeping words out. There's none. Y'all keep a pretty clean profile.
We tried, you know. I mean, my son respects me. I respect him, and people don't understand the way when you grow up with your kid. You know, once in a while, I might use the word bro, or he might use the word, that word, and it's just because we speak the same language, and it's a blessing to have your son with you. Everything you do and everything. So we try to. Don't get me wrong. I'd be lying to you if I tell you we wouldn't have our misunderstanding that every once in a while. But we try to keep it. We try to keep it real. But what you see out there, it's what it. That's one thing. We're not actors. So we just doing with a camera or with no camera. We just go with the flow.
Yeah, and that's what I like about it. But y'all don't go to bed mad, do you?
Well, we go to bed tired.
We're not mad at each other.
Like I said, when work comes, it's no more play here. We business.
Okay.
So even though we father, son, friends, it doesn't matter. When we're working, we working. It's not. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's time we get out there. We might not see eye to eye, but we've got to overcome that because we working out there.
So it gets competitive, doesn't it?
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
a competitive thing when you got to get your tags filled, and I mean, I'm sure the tension.
It is.
And the anxiety levels start to rise, doesn't it?
Some people ask us, some people say, well, y'all look too serious. You're looking, well, you gotta focus. You gotta turn into an alligator for 30 days. You gotta smell like an alligator for 30 days, and you gotta think like an alligator for 30 days. It's just like deer hunting. You gotta try to think exactly what a deer's got going on. And so there's a lot in alligator hunting. It's not just throwing a line out there.
You made a good point, and let me ask you this, RJ. When you hook a 9-foot gator that's on the side of the boat, if you're worried about what a camera is, you might be less an arm, right? So you better focus.
That's it. You got. That's what That's what we were just saying. It's not. I'm gonna say, like I say all the time. You lose your respect for a motorcycle, it's gonna bite you. You lose your respect for that alligator, you're gonna get bit.
Right.
So you got to focus, and thank God that we have a great cameraman. You don't even know he's in the boat. You don't even know where he's at.
Right.
He just takes care of business. He does what he's got to do. And we get to do what we got to do.
Right.
So it's good.
Fishing alligators, you don't have a chance to say, "Oh, time out."
No.
Let's replay this and do this over. You got to work by little short windows. You got to everything happens so fast. You got to get it done and keep going and move on.
30 days to do it.
Yeah, 30 days.
And I'm about to say, you must have a quiet camera person, and so must the guys, brothers, because when their boat had trouble and it was paddling back, they didn't even realize the camera boat could have towed them in, huh?
Yeah. Camera guy didn't even help them.
All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to take phone calls tonight, too, 879-1231. When we come back, more of the Swamp People. Don't go away.